Hello and welcome to the Discover Virginia Beach podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Trahan, your tour guide to the Virginia Beach area. If this is your first time listening, I am so glad you found this show. Each week, I publish a new interview with locals ranging from musicians, government officials, CEOs, artists, and much more. And my aim is simple. It's to help you discover, define, and then go out and do exactly what you're looking for during your next vacation, relocation, or outing to the Virginia Beach area. And if you're looking to join in on the conversation, take part in monthly giveaways, and get your hands on my custom event calendars, head on over to Facebook and send me a friend request. That's Joseph Trahan. And check out my Facebook group of nearly 50,000 fans of the Virginia Beach area. Don't worry about writing anything down. The links for each episode, along with the Facebook groups, will be in the description below and also in the show notes. All right, here's the show. Welcome back, everyone. Today on the show, we have William Johnson, or you can just call him Will. He is the owner and operator of the Creamery, which is located and locally sourced here in the Virginia Beach area. Will, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so today, for our listeners, we're going to be covering the truly unique aspects of Virginia Beach and the farmers market, as well as Will's part in how he plays on, traditional ice cream and gelato to create some super unique and fun flavors, as well as Will's journey to the area and how he really allows his creativity to flourish in our community. So, Will, I understand you are originally from Memphis, Tennessee. Can you share with us what initially sparked your passion for the food industry and how the passion has evolved over the years?
Sure. I started off as just a teenager working as a busboy, really. I just needed a job, and the allure and the mystique of the industry, it's such a unique and odd industry. I just got sucked into it. There's a lot of room for learning and expanding your horizons. And then there's like the well-known, like, nefarious side of the industry, which is, equally as intriguing to a 17-year-old kid. And the more I got involved with the restaurant industry, the more I was able to see that it's a creative outlet. It's not an industry where you hit a ceiling. You can just constantly and continuously learn and grow. As much as you want to get out of it, you can put into it, and it's a very unique experience as far as like meeting people, culture, and really, as far as you want to go with it, you can go anywhere with it. And it's taken me from bussing tables in a small seafood restaurant to here in Virginia Beach selling ice cream, on a perfectly sunny day next to the beach. And it's, I owe it all to the industry and just, every person that I've met and everything that I've done has, built up to this point. I got into the ice cream world, working for a small French restaurant in Memphis. I was asked to do the desserts, and I knew nothing about gelato or sorbet. So I just cracked open some books, learned, made a bunch of mistakes. YouTube is an amazing instruction application, and just started to build from there, going from a savory background to a sweet, current foundation. And it's incorporating those two experiences has really been able to really allowed me to be able to do some unique stuff as far as ice cream. We can do, your pedestrian flavors, which, everybody loves and enjoys: the cookies and cream, the vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, to the kind of outside of the box, if you will. We right now we're running a fun habanero mango flavor. We've got a really neat roasted pineapple and coconut sorbet. We'll go as far out to do roasted or a charred jalapeno and goat cheese gelato, which has been received really well this year. Bone marrow root beer gelato. So we take a lot of influence from past experience, and we also take customer suggestions. A lot of folks will come to us and they'll ask us, "Hey, can you do this?" And, we'll give it a shot. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I think that was sort of the genesis of our popcorn gelato. Someone came to me and they challenged us to do they've had popcorn jelly beans, and like, let's try the gelato version. And we went to our little commissary kitchen and just put our heads down and just through trial and error, our little test kitchen, we turned out a really fun little product. It's tastes just like popcorn. We use Jiffy Pop, and it's just we figured out we could steep the popcorn in the gelato base overnight, and that's the ticket. And
wow, that is so fascinating, Will, because you look at the standard ice cream shop, right? It might just be someone scooping ice cream out of a tub, but because of your unique background and perspective on the culinary and restaurant industry, you have this extra layer of not only professionalism and knowing how to run a kitchen, right? But you also have this layer of creativity that goes with the other side of it of just taking suggestions. I think of jelly beans. That's a perfect example. Just a mixed bag of all these different flavors. They may not be all a hit, or they may be super unique and interesting. And I know for you, Will, that's one of the things that you kind of like to focus in on is including your customers in that journey. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, I want to stop and pause in the year 2019 when everything seemed like you hit the reset button almost. Is that a fair assessment of 2019?
Oh, absolutely. That's
just hit the reset button. Would you mind picking us up from that part of your journey?
So 2019, we decided, we wanted a change of scenery, geographical change. So we dropped everything in Memphis, sold our house, sold the business, and packed everything up and moved to Virginia Beach. And my wife and son, we showed up in January of 2019, got established a little apartment. I found a job at a local restaurant and slowly trickled everybody up here, bought a little townhouse over by town center, and things were fantastic. Found out we had another, a little boy on the way in 2019. We just got a new house, new city. Then COVID happened, and everything was shut down. I went from working in a fun little restaurant in Norfolk to a stay-at-home dad with a newborn and homeschooling my first grader at the time. I mean, within a weekend, I worked Friday night, and then Monday I had a whole new game plan. And we're at that point, you just kind of have to let go of the wheel and just kind of roll with it. And we came out on the other side. It took a lot of patience and understanding. It my wife was a total trooper through the whole thing, and my kids have been great. And it's taken about a year for us to sort of compile the equipment we needed again, and meet the right people and network our way. And here we are. We it took 2 years for us to sort of get established again, a little footing. And we spent last year, our first season, just really rubbing shoulders, getting to know people, which market's going to work best for us, which farmers market is going to, allow us to sort of express and stretch our legs, our creativity, and of course, where we're going to make the most money so we can continue down the road. And then this year we've really kind of hit full stride. It's been a lot of work, a lot of late nights, a lot of stress. But now that we've kind of made it through the threshold of all that, we're able to really enjoy it. And I mean, that's been the biggest tool we can use is just, if we're not enjoying what we're doing, we may as well stop. Every day is, extremely fun. I love working the farmers markets. We've got we've just word of mouth, has got we got a wedding gig this weekend for about 80 people, and they've suggested some wild flavors. So we're going to set up at a local brewery and do that with them this weekend. And I think we're working on doing the Pride evening at the zoo coming up soon. So we're moving right along. It's, we're growing slowly, and it's just getting out here, meeting the people on the East Coast. It's such a hodgepodge of folks. It's like a cornucopia, I guess. People from DC, people from South Carolina, they all have these different tastes and experiences, and just the available product here on the East Coast has been amazing. We can get, just seafood. You wouldn't think that would be an ice cream ingredient, but we've done a squid ink gelato, where it's just jet black. Wow. And it's a Halloween flavor. People love it, and it's the produce out here seems to hit season a little earlier than it does sort of in the Midwest, and the folks here are a little more open minded, and just the serving a general group of just the crowd serving here. It's just amazing. We get so many different people from so many different walks of life. I guess as the Navy base brings them in from all over the country, and we get a lot of people who well, I was stationed in Italy for 7 months. I haven't had this flavor since then. Or my favorite, we've had this guy who's he must have been pushing 100, World War II veteran, and he remembered gelato in Italy, and he just wanted to talk about it. It drew up a bunch of memories from him, and it's just ice cream, really. At the end of the day, it's just he's having a 20-minute conversation with us about his experiences and just these memories he hadn't thought about in 80 years, and it's just it's kind of incredible. We can hopefully affect people in that way, and just get people to think about food, and get people to kind of understand where we source things, and what we can do with what's on hand locally. We can do this amazing stuff, and it's not hard.
Very, very cool and very fun. Maybe not hard for you, Will, but definitely a craft that one can quickly come to appreciate when you look at the canvas from which you started with, of back in 2019, basically hitting the reset button and building up from there. Obviously, you built a huge fan base, including myself, with some of the more unique flavors on the dessert front, and we are in the peak summer season right now. So, Will, for our listeners out there who want to connect with you in person, would you mind, and also for the fun SEO keywords out there, can you share the specific locations that you'll be at this summer, whether that's just the general name of the farmers market, as well as some of the flavors you would recommend folks try as they kind of begin to maybe sample or test your product, for the folks that might be new to the gelato and ice cream creations that you have?
Sure. So every Sunday we are at the Harvest Market at Ouzelfinch. It's over in Hampton. It might be a little drive for the Virginia Beach and Norfolk clientele. The first and third Thursdays of the month, we are at Kings Grant Farmers Market. That's an amazing market. Lori is the market manager. She knows what she's doing. She runs a tight ship, and they've got a great selection of vendors. And let's see, where Saturdays we are at East Beach. That is in Norfolk. They've got, I think, about 60 different vendors. It's in the middle of a huge park, so you can bring the kids and dogs. There's a couple of playgrounds, very family friendly. And the sorbet this year have been changing. They've been really fun. They've been well received and super popular. It's given us a little room to free up from the gelato a little bit. So the fun flavors for the kids are always the cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip. And then for the adults, we've got some fun. We're doing a Tennessee whiskey right now, which is a whiskey.
Very fun.
We have to drive to Tennessee to get this whiskey to source it. So it's like Smokey and the Bandit coming back to Virginia with a trunk load of whiskey. We, a lot of alcohol flavors. We like to borrow from the local breweries that we work with. So we'll take their seltzers and turn them into gelato or sorbet flavors. Anything that comes along our path that we think is going to be fun or weird, we're doing a cherry cordial for this wedding this weekend. I'm very excited about that one. A little brandy, a little cherry, a little chocolate. So it's it's the menu changes. About 40% of the menu changes every market, depending on what we run out of. I don't like to repeat stuff too often. So you never know what we're going to have. We have regulars. There's a mother-daughter duo. They're probably some of my favorite customers we have. They treat us like a grocery store. They'll show up on Saturdays and they'll buy 7, 8, maybe 10 different flavors for the week. And, I'll see you next week. They love seeing how often we can change our menu, and they'll challenge us. They'll pressure us to do some unique stuff. I think my kids are my biggest fans. They have, carte blanche over the freezers here. So they think they're, living on top of it. My son will just annihilate a gallon of Nutella gelato in an afternoon if I let him. But it's just come and check us out at any one of those locations, and, open to suggestions. Even if you don't buy something, just stop and try. We encourage just sampling. We do samples. I love to sit and talk about it. And if we take criticism, very constructively. If it's, let us know what you think about it. We love to get feedback. I love to know what customers think, and children are like the most honest.
They're the most honest critics. Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that plays a huge part in the innovation process as well, Will, because you do have such a large, feedback pool of, things to try. I'm curious, behind the curtain, do you have a certain day of the week, or at least maybe a certain process that you go to, like, really refine that list of, random suggestions and cool ideas into, maybe a condensed format that then, kind of allows you to output a flavor that can still, generate revenue, generate hype, and, not also be, can also be flavorful for those, trying it out?
Sure. Yeah. Well, typically it's Sunday evenings, Monday or Tuesday, after the Sunday market and the big weekend, I'll sit down and just kind of like, look over our par list of what we've got left over. My wife and I will talk about different flavors. I watch TV shows and get inspired. Inspiration comes from, just anywhere. We'll go to an Asian restaurant, and it's like, I think a toasted sesame seed gelato would be amazing. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. And we'll do, I don't ever look at like the cost of the ingredients, which I should, as a business owner. But
you're driving to Tennessee for gallons of whiskey. So, it's the creative process first, right?
But we'll do some fun, cost prohibitive flavors that will, they'll draw folks in. They'll see something like the squid ink gelato I mentioned earlier. It's, that's not cheap, but they'll come over, they'll sample it. They might get it, they might not, but they'll leave with, maybe a vanilla or a strawberry, if something they're more comfortable or familiar with. And, so some of the flavors will cost me a little money to make in the long run. But, at the end of the day, we're getting folks to come over to our location, and, people are talking about it, and, people get very excited about it. And that's what it's like.
Memorable. It's so memorable. And that's one of the great things we wanted to have you on the show, Will, just to kind of feature this and talk about your creativity. I understand you have some things going on with the fam to enjoy summer. So we're going to go ahead and head into our last segment here, the rapid fire question section. And in order to, in an effort to complete this successfully, as a reward, you get a red carpet. You get a moment to share any final messages or words with the audience to leave them with, should you do the rapid fire question section. Do you accept this challenge, Will?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. First rapid fire question for you. What's the most challenging part of running a mobile food business?
Probably the physical setup. We have to, I have a van, and it has all the equipment we use, from spoons to generators to tables to tents, signage. And it's just getting where we need to be on time, set up with everything, topped off. Do I have enough spoons? Do I have enough cups, containers? Is the generator gassed up? Do I have the signage? Are my markers, my paint pens to write our menu? Are they working? It's the just the internal logistics are always, is the square reader, is it charged up? Do I have I've left the house or the shop with the cash box, so just left it. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? It's any one of those little things that's out of place can really determine the success of a day or even a whole weekend.
Sure. What's your favorite beach to visit here in the Virginia Beach area?
My kids and I, we love Chicks Beach. It is quiet. It's my 4-year-old. The waves aren't too heavy for him. It's in a little neighborhood. It's it's close to where we are, and they live there during the summer.
Very, very cool. Great recommendation. Next one for you, Will. What is one word you would use to describe your cooking / food creation style?
Chaotic. It is very chaotic. 80% of it is kind of tuned in. The other 20% is just, I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend. Last minute panic is always an amazing inspiration. Walking up and down the produce aisles at, Wegmans or Kroger, can really change the direction of where I want to go with sort of the theme. And just, keeping it open-ended like that is really, it's kind of a safety net. And it's also just, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes when nothing's nailed down.
Yeah, I bet that just sounds stressful thinking about it. We're glad that you can cover that for yourself, Will.
Sure.
Last one for you. When it comes to going out to eat and enjoying restaurants or farmers market in general, aside from the Creamery, where do you find yourself most recently maybe going to grab a bite to eat or enjoying some time with the family?
We really bounce around. I mean, I enjoy food from like restaurants like Le Grand or the Vale. Another brewery, Zero's is an amazing sandwich place. I think the last place I went to eat was at the Coastal Cafe over kind of close to where the shop is, where we work out of. I got a Reuben sandwich, and it was delicious.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you again so much for your time. We appreciate it. You've made it to the end of the rapid fire question section. So this is your time to get the spotlight and share any final words or messages you want to leave the audience with. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, absolutely. The East Beach Farmers Market, the Harvest Market at Ouzelfinch, and of course, Kings Grant are where you can find us. They're the Creamery VB on Facebook and Instagram. We take messages. We would love to cater an event or even just make a personal flavor for you. Check us out at any one of those markets or online, and we would love to even just, if you don't mind anything, just come and sample and just talk to us. We'd love to get to know you, and we'd love to get to know the area better.
Love it. Well, thanks for giving us a chance to get to know you better, and we hope to see you all soon at the farmers market and enjoy the summer 2024. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in another episode very soon.